Most people think silence means weakness. They believe that if you do not speak, you lose control of the situation. But silence is often a decision, not a mistake. It appears when you understand that not every moment needs a reaction. There are situations where words do not bring clarity, they only bring noise. Silence gives you space, space to slow down, space to think clearly. When you stay quiet, you stop reacting automatically. You begin to notice how much energy is wasted on unnecessary explanations. Silence removes pressure. It allows emotions to settle naturally. You start listening more carefully, not only to others but to yourself. And in that quiet space, clarity begins to form, not suddenly, but steadily. Silence does not take your power, it helps you find it. Explaining yourself feels important at first. You want to be understood. You want your intentions to be clear. But not everyone listens to understand. Some people listen to respond. Some listen to judge. Over time, explaining becomes heavy. You repeat the same thoughts, the same reasons, the same emotions, and after each explanation, you feel more tired than before. That tired feeling is a signal. It tells you something matters here. Not every person deserves access to your inner world. Silence protects that space. It keeps your energy from being drained without meaning. When you stop explaining, you are not giving up. You are choosing where your energy belongs. And that choice quietly changes everything. Calm people are often misunderstood. Others assume they do not care, that they feel nothing. But calm is not emptiness. Calm is control. It is the ability to pause before reacting. Calm people feel deeply. They simply choose when and how to express it. They understand that emotions do not need to be loud to be real. Silence helps emotions settle. Instead of chaos, there is balance. Instead of noise, there is awareness. Calm is not passive. It is intentional. It allows you to respond instead of reacting, and that difference changes everything. Many people imagine boundaries as something loud, arguments, strong words, clear confrontation. But the strongest boundaries are quiet. Silence is one of them. When you stop engaging in unnecessary conversations, you send a clear message. You do not need approval. You do not need validation. You choose peace over explanation. Silence draws a line without conflict. Some people respect it. Others feel uncomfortable around it. That reaction is information. Silence does not push people away. It reveals who understands you without constant explanation. And those people belong closer than most because they respect your calm, your space, and your quiet strength. Silence feels uncomfortable at first, especially if you are used to explaining yourself, used to filling every gap, used to defending your choices. When you stop doing that, something feels missing, but that discomfort is not a problem. It is growth. It means you are breaking an old habit, a habit of seeking reassurance. Silence teaches patience. It teaches trust. You learn to sit with your thoughts without justifying them. Slowly, the discomfort fades. In its place, calm begins to appear, and calm feels lighter than constant explanation ever did. Your energy is limited. Every conversation costs something. Every explanation takes focus. When you give that energy to the wrong people, it disappears quickly. Silence helps you choose where your energy goes. It keeps you from overspending yourself. When you stay quiet, you observe more. You notice patterns. You see who respects your presence and who demands performance. Silence helps you invest wisely, not in noise, but in meaning, not in approval, but in peace. Protecting your energy changes how you move through life. Silence does not only affect you, it affects the people around you. Some feel calm around silence. Others feel uncomfortable. That discomfort often comes from uncertainty. When you stay quiet, people cannot predict your reaction. They cannot control the conversation. They cannot guide the outcome. And that makes silence feel threatening, not because it is aggressive, but because it is independent. Silence removes emotional signals. It forces others to sit with their own thoughts. Some people avoid that. They prefer noise. They prefer reaction. When you remain silent, you are not challenging them. You are simply not playing along. And that quiet refusal reveals more than words ever could. Conversations often hide power dynamics. Who speaks more? Who interrupts? Who explains? Silence changes that balance. When you stop reacting, you remove leverage. You are no longer pulled into emotional exchanges. You are no longer defending yourself. Silence shifts control inward. It shows that you are grounded, that you do not need permission to exist calmly. People who rely on reaction feel this shift immediately. They may push harder, they may provoke, but silence holds its position. It does not escalate, it simply remains steady. And in that steadiness, true dynamics become visible. Not through confrontation, but through clarity. Silence often brings you back to yourself, without distraction, without validation. That can feel uncomfortable at first. You hear your own thoughts more clearly. You notice emotions you previously ignored. But this is not a problem. It is an invitation. Learning to sit with yourself is a form of strength. It means you are not afraid of your own presence. Silence teaches independence. You stop needing constant input. You begin to feel complete without external noise. This changes how you move through relationships. You choose connection, not dependence. And that quiet self-connection becomes a steady foundation you can return to at any time. Not every situation requires a response. Not every comment deserves attention. Silence helps you recognize the difference. There are moments when words would only add confusion, moments when explanation invites argument. In those moments, silence becomes the answer. Not out of fear, not out of avoidance, but out of clarity. Silence protects your intention. It keeps you aligned with what truly matters. You respond only when response brings value. And when you choose silence, it is not emptiness, it is direction. A calm decision to preserve peace instead of feeding noise. Strength is often imagined as action, as movement, as reaction. But real strength is still. It does not rush. It does not compete for attention. Stillness allows clarity to grow. It gives your thoughts time to align. Silence strengthens awareness. You begin to understand situations before acting. You stop making decisions from emotion alone. Stillness is discipline. It is control. It is choosing intention over impulse. And that quiet strength is difficult to disturb because it comes from patience, self-trust, and deep inner stability. When you speak less, relationships change. Some people come closer, some drift away. This is natural. Silence removes confusion. It removes unnecessary drama. People react differently to calm presence. Some feel respected. Some feel exposed. Silence does not create distance. It reveals distance that already existed. You begin to value depth over volume, quality over quantity, and relationships become lighter, clearer, and more honest, built on understanding, not constant explanation or emotional noise. Pausing is a skill. It does not happen automatically. Silence teaches you how to pause, before responding, before reacting, before deciding. That pause creates space, space for clarity, space for understanding. When you pause, you regain control of the moment. You are no longer pulled by emotion alone. Over time, pausing becomes natural. Life slows down just enough to help you choose better, with intention, awareness, and long-term peace in mind. Quiet confidence does not announce itself. It does not seek attention. It does not demand agreement. It simply exists. Silence supports that confidence. It shows that you trust yourself. You stop feeling the need to convince others. Silence no longer feels empty. It feels full, full of clarity, full of control, full of peace. You stop fearing quiet moments. You begin to value them, because silence is not absence. It is strength without noise, built slowly through self-acceptance, consistency, and quiet inner certainty.